WhatsApp ku namba y'essimu noti 79 noti 14 18 87 olwofuna okuddibwamu okuva wa kamisona General wa URA John Musinguzi. Laba amawulire gaffe UBC leero buli lwa bbalaza n'olwokusatu ofuna okunnyonnyola okulambulukufu okuva ew'omukenkufu. Buuza kamisona.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda, haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort, and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
A lovely morning, and thank you very much for being with us on UBC TV. Welcome to the Extra. I'm Robert Cherabonyonyetono. Now, what we usually do here is we have a guest or guests, and we discuss issues of national concern that really are of very much importance to you as a Ugandan. But first, I want to thank those that began your day with us from 6:30, and you're still with us as we open our live broadcast that is Good Morning Uganda. Thank you very, very much. Now, welcome to this extension. And this morning, we are going to be discussing something very pertinent, very important to every Ugandan from 0 years, if those exist, to the so many years that you live. And what is that? That is the national ID. And we are looking at the mass renewal and registration. Now, two things here. We are talking about the renewal exercise that commenced yesterday on the 27th, and also the registration. One would wonder what these two mean, but I'm not the competent person to discuss this. I have a lady and a gentleman who are from the National Identification and Registration Authority, NIRA, with me. Now, join me, welcome the board chairman of NIRA, Joseph Bidi Bonwa, who is with me in studios. You're most welcome.
Good morning, viewers.
And at the other hand, I have the manager registration and operations, NIRA, Kano Grace Komugisha. You're most welcome.
Yeah, good morning, viewers.
Now, just to set the ball rolling, allow me, Chairman, when we talk about, first and foremost, NIRA, National Identification and Registration Authority, what is your mandate?
Our mandate is to register all people in the country and to store the data of the biodata of all those people registered, and to share it according to the law with a number of stakeholders.
Okay, now, Kano, we know this time around we are looking at two things: mass enrollment and renewal.
Yes.
Please explain to our viewer what this exercise intends to do.
Yeah, thank you, our host. First and foremost, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the leadership and management of UBC for giving us the opportunity to have our last-minute conversation on the subject under consideration. Explaining to members of the public is very pertinent to us, and we are passionate about it because they are part and parcel of the reason why NIRA was established in the first place. We are servants of the people of this country, and we owe them an explanation on everything that we are doing on a daily basis because we exist to serve them. Basically, we are here to clarify many things, including what is mass enrollment and what is mass renewal. And that forms part of the what, because I'd come here to explain the 5 W's of this project. So in other words, you're asking me the what question. So the issue of mass enrollment and mass renewal, mass enrollment is an exercise to register all unregistered Ugandans, including children at all levels. We anticipate in 2014 and 2015, we registered 15.8 million Ugandans. And those national IDs started expiring in 2024, 10 years down the road. And others are expiring now. Even as we speak now, some IDs are expiring. And that's what constitutes mass renewal. So the mass enrollment is for those Ugandans who have never enrolled with NIRA, including children who are being born today. So we are having a twin exercise with 2 variables to deliver mass enrollment and mass renewal. And we are glad that we have rolled it out. It's long awaited. All members of the public are expecting a lot from us, and we want to say that we are ready to serve them.
NIRA is ready to serve Ugandans. Now, to the chairman, board chairman, let's look at how this exercise is going to be running. Uganda is very broad. We have a number of districts. We have a number of parishes. How are you going to roll out this exercise?
Well, thank you, moderator. This exercise is going to be countrywide. And NIRA is represented in all the 146 administrative districts of the country. We have our registration officers and offices in all these districts. Where there are recent districts, we are sharing them out with the mother districts, but they will have their particular equipment and officials. So from 27th of this month, which was yesterday, we have deployed almost 5,000 kits, 5,500 kits in the districts. Now, in the districts, our returning office, our registration officers will be the lead persons, but they will work in collaboration with the district leadership, including the RDC, and they will make bi-weekly or fortnightly or every 2 weeks, they will make rosters which they will publish, telling people where they are, in which parishes. The focal point is the parish where we shall be operating from. And they will be operating, they will be announcing where they will be going every 2 weeks, so that the Ugandans can know and make their plans where they can go and register. So to answer your question, it is going to be based in the districts, but the focal point in the districts will be the parishes. Then they will be rotating within the parishes. And we are going to be in the field for approximately 6 months in this exercise.
Now, rightly said, Colonel, when you talk about they're going to be at the parish, and of course at the parish, if that's when we shall know how they are going to rotate throughout the parish. Yes. Now, what is required of a Ugandan to be part of the renewal, to be part of the registration?
Yeah, thank you, moderator. What is required is dependent on the service that you require. If you are enrolling for the first time, we require you to present a national ID, a photocopy of the national ID of your parents. You fill our form, enrollment form, and it is endorsed by the LC1, and it is further endorsed by the district internal security officer. Then it is presented. Then for those who are renewing, whose cards have
Do I need, just for clarity purposes,
yes,
do I need to have my mother, my father, or any of the two?
any of the two.
Okay.
If you don't have a father and you have a mother, you can enroll.
If I have
Because
none of those?
If you have none of those, you can get a relative, a blood relative,
Okay.
to recommend you, because there are people who have lost parents. It's normal. Then their blood relatives, register them. But of course there we do some due diligence to ensure that the information given to us is authentic.
Yes.
That's why we have to go through the process of LOCs, because these are people resident there, then further validated by DISO for purposes of having the right citizenship category within. Because authentic information that is available to us for a reliable and authentic national register. That's why we have to do that kind of verification. Yeah.
So simply have those.
Then for renewal, you just present your old ID and then you are renewed. In case your old ID is lost, you come with a police letter, present it, but you should be having your NIN, then you will be enrolled. Yeah.
Now for the infants, because this time around our viewer, we are registering from zero. Every Ugandan must have a NIN number. So my toddler, this one I'm holding, I'm very much interested how you're going to conduct that, because there are specific features. So how would a mother, many mothers, want to register their children using this window?
Yes, thank you so much. We are passionate about registering children, because that's the only way we can cure a backlog. You know, by 2014, you and me were a backlog. And moving forward, we need to really stop having this backlog carry on. So the only way to stop the backlog from carrying on is to register children who are born. For the children who are born between 0 months to 9 months, we don't need their biometrics. We don't need their facial features, because they are still infants. So what we just need is they fill the form. We have photocopies of the parents' national ID, because each one of us is getting citizenship from our parents. Then we assign them NIN until they are 16 years of age. So that's when they come now and Get First ID. We have a form called Get First ID when someone makes 16 years. Yes.
That is well explained. Now, Chairman, when we look at this exercise, we're talking about a group that is going to be renewing their ID. So we are talking about those that are registering first time. We have persons with disabilities. We have maybe vulnerable groups, say women, don't get me wrong, pregnant women. So all of this, how is the center, the registration center, going to be like? Because the various people will be coming for various issues.
Yeah, the registration center is going to have a number of kits and a number of zones. We'll have a zone for the disabled people who are being supported to reach the kit. We'll have a zone for expectant mothers or mothers with very young children. We'll have a zone for people, VIPs who are hurrying to go back and work. In summary, we have zoned out the station to cater for special interest groups. We have a minimum, I think, of 10 kits or 10 zones every day. So to avoid the rush, to avoid the crowding on one kit, these special interest groups have all been mapped out, and there'll be somebody directing them where to go.
That is very interesting. I love the fact that this time around there are zones. Now, also, Kano, take us through what is known as pre-registration.
Yeah, pre-registration activities, it's mainly campaign. First and foremost, we are looking at, there are people who are ICT compliant and who have access to internet. They can go online and apply and do kind of soft application. But then you will have to physically appear on the nearest site, registration site close to you, with some kind of track number. Then from there, you're no longer filling the form, you have already filled it, so you give a track number, and then we capture the physical, the physical features of that person. So basically that. Then people who are, like currently what we are doing is that we are testing operational readiness. And when we are testing operational readiness, we are actually operating close to our main centers to test the functionality, to test the ability of users, so that by the time after 1st June, when we deploy widely, then we know that we have tested our human resource capabilities, our technology, our equipment, they are up to the task. And then that's even this pre-registration and activities, our being here is part and parcel of the pre-registration activities in order to mobilize the people for effective participation.
Okay, now Chairman, when we talk about registration, let's look at people in renewal particularly, those are going to renew their IDs. There is a case where maybe I got my first national ID in Luweero. Here I am, I'm in Kampala, staying in Muyenga. And this exercise, must I, this is a frequently asked, go back to Luweero to do registration? Can I just go anywhere in Muyenga to do the registration? Can I go to any nearer office to do this registration, the renewal exercise? Because for those who are registering for the first time, maybe it is okay. But you're looking at a person who already has a national ID, it expired.
I think for the renewal exercise, you need not to go anywhere. I mean, you can go anywhere and register anywhere because we have all the information about you. Yeah. So this is very convenient exercise for the ongoing people.
Okay. Going back to you, Kano, you talked about human resource. The biggest challenge we usually have with technology in Uganda, yes, NIRA bought more technology, more equipment, and also we know that with this new exercise comes enhanced features that are going to be on our national IDs. And of course, we expect that maybe the people who did the previous job, even if they are retained, there are changes in the technology. How prepared are you regarding the machinery, but also the human resource, knowing what to do and how to do it right and in time?
Yeah, thank you, moderator. The only way to show a kind of incompetence is training, and we've been training. We've been training to enhance our operational readiness of our human resource capabilities as well as our technology. We've been training, even now we are training. And that is why between from 26th of this month to 31st of this month, we are operating in areas within the circumference around us, not far from us, from our headquarters and our respective designations, in order to test equipment, in order to test these people, to test the newly recruited people who will be carrying out this exercise. The old people are training them because they first trained earlier, and we are really monitoring this exercise very well. Yes, we are so sure that the people we have been effectively trained. But besides a new person, there is another person too, to keep training and back them up. Yeah.
Yes,
we have a team of supervisors across the field to make sure that the people we have trained are doing the right job, or to make sure that if they have any problem, there is minimum response time from our supervisors in the field to correct either the equipment or to correct the staff.
Well said, and we hope that comes that way. But if I go for a break, one of the challenges we found with the national IDs we have currently, and some that are due, some that are expired, and some that are even moving on, is non-Ugandans possessing our national ID. And I remember a time came when you would go to immigration, people would go to the immigration at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and you would find some people, their national IDs confiscated, taken from them with evidence that they are not Ugandans. But here they are, they have the NIN, they have the national ID. Now I put it to you, my guest this morning, in this exercise, what have you put in place to ensure that a person who has a national ID is truly a Ugandan and will not have a repeat of what we have today, that you find a Somali, sorry to use that, you find an Eritrean, you find a Rwandese, you find, and these are Congolese, and these will have our national IDs. Chairman, would you take the first shot?
Yeah, the exercise of forgery of information is illegal, and it is corruption, it is fraud. And it's applicable across the whole country. There are people who are wrong people, and they will forge documents, including the national ID. But for citizenship or application for registration, we have a citizen verification committee. Is it at parish level, at Gombora level? At Gombora level, where people can forward complaints, where the committee reviews all the applications, because the Gombora is a small place and they are represented by the LOC1 chairman and the GISOs and the opinion leaders, to vet actually that the applicants are genuine Ugandans. But I wouldn't like you to isolate NIRA alone. The issue of forgery is a security problem countrywide. That's where there is that expression that these are NASA documents. These are NASA documents. They forge degrees, they forge medical documents, they forge bank statements, and so on. So it is a collective responsibility of all Ugandans to fight this exercise.
Colonel, just to throw more hint on my question, someone forging a degree is evil, but we know that is a forged degree. But talking of someone having a national ID issued by NIRA, not forged, and we expect NIRA that the information they are collecting from us is solid enough, verified enough, that this is the person, this is who this person is. Colonel, why do we still have this?
Yeah, thank you, moderator. I just want to add what the chairman of Board of Directors just said. But I want to give a bit of a background, if time permits.
Please do.
In 2014, when the National ID project was inaugurated, and eventually the National ID processed and issued out, Ugandans who were operating the system at that time, who were in that project, had inadequate skills of doing this business. And also the condition pertaining at that time did not allow them sufficient time to do due diligence of citizenship verification. Because, you know, remember in 2014, we are rushing to inform Electoral Commission for 2016 general elections. So we didn't have time. The timing was also bad. So me, I have always actually said that those were mistakes of omission and not commission. But this time round, I don't think we have excuse. We have experience, we have skills, and we have put a due diligence mechanism throughout our structure in NIRA. And we believe that we are going to correct some of these mistakes. Contemporary management operates on the principle of continuous improvement, which the Japanese call kaizen. So this is part and parcel of improving our system and making it better. I am actually confident that this time round, we've been correcting these mistakes, but we don't get to the public to say that we have cleaned up, we are doing that. Continuous improvement is a routine, is on our table on a daily basis. We have a management citizenship verification committee so that when these things are detected, we put them there, they look at them, then they follow the legal process of nullifying the registration. So I want to assure Ugandans that we have trained the file and rank of NIRA to do citizenship verification. And also something I want to clarify to the public, we don't want to refuse to register people, but we want to register people in the true citizenship category provided in the Constitution. The Constitution, under Chapter 3, it stipulates 4 types of citizenship, as far as I can remember. Citizenship by birth, by registration, naturalization, and dual citizenship. And we call upon Ugandans to be honest, because it's not a crime to qualify for naturalization. It's not a crime to qualify for this, instead of giving us false information, which will be detected in the long run. Yes.
Well explained. Now, allow me to go for a very short break. When I return, we are still going to be looking at some of the things you need to know as you go to renew or register for the national identification, such as if you want to change some particulars, how is that going to be handled? We'll return shortly.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort, and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
3 days of music, laughter, and adventure surrounded by the beauty of nature, featuring Africa's top artists. Dance and live fully in the biggest celebration of Africa's diverse heritage, deep in nature's embrace. Welcome to Milege. Explore and celebrate life, music, dance, cinema, food, folklore, and stories. Milege World Music Festival 2025, 6th to 8th June at Botanical Gardens, Entebbe. To buy your ticket, dial *165 *20 hash. Choose Milege Festival 2025 and follow the prompts. Or call 0752 833 111 or visit www.milege.org. Sponsored by Entebbe Municipal Council, Uganda Wildlife Education Center, Uganda Wildlife Authority, Civil Aviation Authority, Uganda Tourism Board, Rock Telcom, Ovidian Uganda, 106.5 Energy Radio, Protea Hotel Entebbe, and UBC.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that break, and thank you very much for keeping it with us on UBC TV. We are discussing the mass enrollment and mass renewal as well of national identity cards. Now that is your national ID. Just to take you back, we remember those that got their IDs in 2014 and 2015. Some expired of 2014 and 2015 are due to expire come June now, while the National Registration Authority, NIRA, did is to embark on renewal but also enrollment from 0 years, I must say. As long as you are Ugandan, you must have a NIN. When you clock 16, then you get a national ID. But wherever you are, you have a name, you must have a NIN as a Ugandan. And we all know how important the national ID is of late, and more so Every day, everything requires a national ID. Who knows, maybe one time even fueling your car may require a national ID. So better do not miss this opportunity. Remember that exercise is totally free unless you're going to do what I'm going to ask my guest this morning. Now, Kano, there are people that want to change their name. For example, if I was, usually for the ladies, or even the men, but the ladies, someone got married, took on the husband's name, now they divorced. So she doesn't want to have an ID that still carries that name. And also on some of her documents. Someone was single, she got married, she's so much in love and feels it's the right to carry the husband's name on the national ID. We do have those. We have those who seemingly forgot their date of birth and remembered along the way that actually I wasn't born in 1983, I was born in 1985. And we have those also that maybe were younger and they wanted a national ID. Like you said, there were some irregularities by then, but not intended, where your father took you nono bamuwandiike. Now they had to assume you've clocked 18, but maybe you never look, you weren't 18. So people want to make these changes. How and where is this going to be done?
Yeah, thank you, moderator. Change of particulars, which we abbreviate as COP, is provided for in the law. And it is your right to change certain things that you would like to change. If you did, you have errors, if you want something to add on your particulars in the National Register, it's provided for in the law. However, we go through a strict process of changing particulars. For example, if you are changing age, that's a serious area. We do a lot of due diligence on that, why you change it, because some people don't want to retire and they are cutting age in order to remain on the payroll. Quite a number of reasons why people change age. Then some people are changing names, some people are dropping, some are adding. So we go through a strict due diligence process. And that cannot be done on these mobile centers. It has to be done at the district. And the requirements will be provided according to the service that you want. Yes.
Very interesting. At least now you know where to go. Now we have those that lost their IDs. The ID is not yet expired, but it got lost. We also have those that it expired and it also got lost. Now those lost, how do they go forward?
They just present themselves with a police letter, and we shall replace for them, and we shall renew for them.
Now let me get this clear.
Yes, sir.
If I'm making a replacement of a lost ID
Yes, sir.
that is not expired, will this be as well free of charge? What are the terms and circumstances under which I have to pay to make payments?
I think it will be free of charge. It will be free of charge, yeah.
Under this exercise?
Under this exercise.
Because previously there had to be some
50,000,
yes,
but it's going to be free of charge.
Oh, okay then.
Because the new ID is free of charge. Yes.
Now, there are also people whose IDs have not expired, but maybe they are due 2 years from now. Are they, or the period seemingly seems near?
It is provided for. They come for a new ID.
They come for
the
a new
upgraded ID.
Even, let's get this very clear.
Yes, sir.
Because someone's ID could be expiring in 2 years from now. Now there's this window, the 6 months to 10 months registration. So do I also bring my ID much as it's still valid?
Yes, it is provided for. You come, yes.
To replace the old ID.
The old ID.
But preferably, to avoid a crowd, what we are saying, we shall give priority to those which have expired or which are lost. But if you come to our zone or our center for a replacement of ID, because within 6 months, we hope to have covered the whole, all the old cards replaced.
The 15.8.
Yeah. So it is, you can come and we process your replacement. Yeah.
That is very interesting. Now, how special, Chairman, if you can be able to answer this. How special is this new ID going to be from the ID that I've been having?
I will ask my colleague to go through the parameters, because now we have increased the biometrics which are required in this new card. We are going to take 10 fingerprints instead we used to take 2. We are going to do a iris, or the eyes, which were not there before. Then some of the other security features, as the word is, are security, they are not for the public consumption. But my colleague can add on that one.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Moderator. We are going to have an ID that is a new generation ID with enhanced security features, which is those features that are going to be embedded within this ID are going to make it hard for people who intend to forge it. For example, we shall have a digital image of the Uganda coat of arms and other artifacts which are securely embedded within this. But we have been capturing the face and the biometrics, but to this time around, we are going to also capture the iris. Our experience in registration and capturing people has taught us there are people whose fingerprints, as one way of identifying people, you find someone's fingerprints cannot be captured.
Yes.
So we had to mod another way of identifying people, which is the iris. People who have high blood pressure, people with blood, who have diabetes, commonly their fingerprints, you find their fingerprint gloves have deteriorated. So you find that how else do we identify them? We modded the iris, and the technology around the world provided for that. So we have a better ID than the first one that is in line with the international standard of identifying humanity. Yes.
Oh, what a future, and I hope the nearer staff will be very good at that, because now with the addition of something new to be captured, if the thumbprint was not very easy, someone would go 1, 2, 3. Now with the iris, we hope it's something that you've really trained your personnel very well to be able to capture it. Just for clarity, Chairman, how long is this exercise going to be?
Well, initially, and according to budget provisions, we are going to do it for 6 months. But we have another 4 months in the exercise to process the outstanding data which will be left, which will not have been processed. So the span period is 10 months, but we want to appeal to the public not to wait to come at the tail end of the exercise. The exercise, the equipment is in the field. It's going to be rotating at parish level, and please take the first opportunity to come. Don't wait for the tail end of the exercise.
Don't wait for the tail end. Ugandans, that is our culture, it is our tradition, but this time please do not mess up things, because usually you come at the last minute and you're so many there, then you blame the officials. 6 months is a very good period for you. That's half a year.
Yes.
So if the exercise is going to run for half a year, then what excuse do you have, unless the equipment don't rotate very well? And here I want also to come back to you, Chairman. Now we are looking at the district, but the pivotal point is the parish. Now, various parishes have various villages. You find a parish that has a number of villages. You find some, maybe very few. And the form of communication, I don't know how you've factored in this. If I stay in Muyenga B, how am I going to know? Okay, town may be, I'll go to office. But let's go to rural areas. Kasoga, Kakuto. Maybe the parish is Kakuto. There are about 60 villages in there. Now, how am I going to know that this rotational exercise, now in this week, 2 weeks they have been in this village, the other 2 weeks, how are you factoring in community communication? Because usually we used to have what we call the megaphones, but the challenge we've had with megaphones, in many areas where they were, commonly known as Bizindalo, mounted on trees, people have occupied these places, gone to Nema, and they have been brought down because of sound pollution. Because previous these megaphones, ebizindalo, were very useful. That even when you're sleeping, the man at around, he knows people are back home and sleeping, then he will mention, abanira bajja kujja, bali mu kitundu kyaffe okumala weeks ibiri. Today in this issue, people move, go to work, then come back. How are you focusing on that communication? Otherwise, I may get to know when they are telling me they were here 2 weeks, they have gone. Chairman.
Let's begin in a broad way in the districts, for instance. The districts, virtually now every district has a radio station. And people actually tune these radio stations. And they listen, because as I've told you—
Every district has a radio station?
Almost. Almost. We have more than 200 radio stations. Yeah. I'm just giving because the districts are very small now. You can find—
these are private radio stations.
The private.
Yes, I was being— Yes, I get you.
I'm talking about virtually, with due respect to our bosses, virtually every politician now has started a radio station.
Yes.
Those we intend to maximize using them. The RDCs have a lot of airtime now, and we are working with them also to make continuous announcements. But to come to your question of the local publication, we shall still use those mobile, they used to be fixed, the bizindaros. We're going to hire the mobile ones. Like any activity they have now at the village level, when there's vaccination, when there is reviewing a voters register, there is still communication through the local chairman, the LOC1 chairman, with those bizindaros and his mechanism, how he reaches his people. We are going to continue publicizing, telling people how they are going to get this information. And that's why we have narrowed down. We are going to concentrate on a parish, but within the parish there will be villages where we shall be going. Yeah.
I hope that is very strengthened. I happen to be a chairman, a local leader of a community where I stay.
So we need your support.
And one of the things I've found, government throws so much luggage on us with less facilitation. You are village chairperson, you are publicity secretary, now they expect you to carry out sensitization with no facilitation. Now what happens, the young man who has his megaphone that you use will ask for some money to go around. Why I'm emphasizing this? Because like I said, I'm a local leader. I've seen a number of government programs that go and people are not aware. Most of those that have deadlines. Because the chairman will tell you, Chiraku, you want me to do this? How do I move forward? But I'm very happy that at least I've put it to the NERA officials that we must ensure this information goes to grassroots. People are aware, because we are going to use the rotational method you've said. So that I know that on this date, from this date, they are in Mubarak. If they are residents, they are aware. When they leave, they will go to Nkere. The Nkere are also aware. And we hope with that we shall be able to pull out this.
You know, the national ID is not just an ordinary product. It has achieved a lot of popularity. Fortunately, the crowd or the population is fully mobilized. They know the importance of the national ID as an identification document. They know the importance of the ID accessing services. They know the importance of ID as a security control document. So people are very sensitized about the importance of the ID. And many, when the ID started expiring, many, even the lowest person was worried about it. Now when they know we are coming, they are all awake and waiting for us.
Well, our time seems to be wishing us to leave the studios. So allow me just give my guest each a minute for their parting shot, and I'll begin with you, Colonel.
Yeah, thank you, moderator. Our purpose, our intent and purpose was to have the last-minute conversation over mass renewal and mass enrollment. And we thank you for this opportunity, and we are calling upon all Ugandans, I repeat, all Ugandans, to turn up for mass enrollment and for mass renewal. If you know that your national identity card has expired, please turn up within the first 6 months of this exercise, so that we work on you. We are passionate about serving you, and we are calling upon you to come and renew your national ID. Additionally, we are also calling upon you to register all those citizens who are not registered around you. Don't leave them behind. Even a baby who is being born as we speak now, please bring that child and we'll register him or her to avoid a backlog. We are passionate about registering children because that's the only way we can cure a backlog. You and me were a backlog in 2014, and moving forward, we don't want a backlog. And the only way to cure it is to register children who are being born now, who are going to be born tomorrow. If you delay like in the first 1 month, but at least within 9 months of that child, please go to the nearest NERA unit and register them. We wish you the best for God and my country.
Well, thank you, Colonel Grace Komugisha, who is the Manager Registration and Operation at the National Identification and Registration Authority. Thank you so much, Chairman, as we move out of here.
Well, we want to thank UBC and all the other medias whom we have partnered with to promote this exercise. What we want to emphasize is that generally this exercise is free. People should not be asked for money except where people are changing particulars. Secondly, we want to appeal to our stakeholders, particularly the local governments, 5, 3, and LC1. We want to thank them for agreeing to support us and partner with us in this exercise so that we deliver this service successfully to the Ugandans. We want to appeal to the Ugandans to embrace the exercise and start coming for your renewals or registration early enough. Don't avoid coming at the tail end to cause unnecessary panic. We are ready as NERA in the field and we are waiting for you.
Well, thank you so much, Joseph Bidibonwa, who is the Board Chairperson, National Registration and Identification Authority, NERA. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And above all, my bosses, you the viewer, thank you very much for being with us, those that began at 6:30 till now. Really appreciate you. Now, important to note, every Ugandan must have a NIN. As long as you're born and you're a Ugandan, you must have a NIN. That is the National Identification Number. That is your right. It never changes. However many times you renew or make replacement, that doesn't change. So please, if you have a name, then you must have a NIN. Take advantage of this time. Go and register those infants. Register in case you don't have a national ID so that you get a national ID. The time is now. You never know when you will need that and miss out on an opportunity. If it's expired, go have that renewal. If you didn't have, go and get one. God bless you. See you tomorrow.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.